If you're still using AI like a chat box, you are really missing the shift, because the new game isn't how AI helps me to write. It's all about AI does this work for me while I'm busy and reports back. Like you message it on WhatsApp or Telegram, something like clean my inbox, pull the urgent threads, draft replies, and turn today's notes into a checklist. That's the category called agentic AI. And the one that's blowing up right now is OpenClaw, which is an open source personal OS that can run 24/7 and do real tasks through chat apps like WhatsApp or Telegram, but it can also mess up things if you set it casually, because this is basically a terminal with the brain. So in the next 12 minutes, I'll show you what OpenClaw actually is, the real use cases that people are talking about on X or Reddit, and how I deploy it and wire it to WhatsApp, which I can use every day, and 5 safety rules so you don't turn it into a liability. Let's get started. Hi there, I'm Rakul. First, let's make this super clear. A chatbot answers, a copilot helps while you work. An agent takes a goal and runs steps for you. OpenClaw is built for goals and actions, so you can talk to it through messaging apps like WhatsApp, Telegram, Discord, Slack, or even iMessage. It's just like a agent that you employ for yourself. People run it 24/7 on a dedicated machine like Mac Mini or VPS, like an always on AI employee. This is my setup. So I used a hosting platform called Emergent and also WhatsApp. That's all you need to have this. Let me show you how I deployed mine. In my setup, I'm going to use a platform called Emergent. You can use any other platforms like Hostinger and so on, but in this case, I'm just going to use Emergent. Emergent is an AI-powered vibe coding platform that allows you to build production-ready web applications using a natural language prompts. It acts as an agentic workplace, automating full stack front-end, back-end database deployments. Let's get started. Once you're logged in, so you can see that Emergent offers one-click deployment for OpenClaw. You can see the Moldbot button here. So when you click on it, so it automatically puts up a prompt that you can use, and then you would just need to click on go, and it would just do its work in the background. So Moldbot installation is complete. I've got an option to deploy it. You need to deploy Moldbot in the server so that it stays on while you're away. I've got my OpenClaw deployed. Now it asks me to enter my LLM provider. Firstly, you can use Emergent. For that, you don't need any API keys, but you would need to purchase the credits through Emergent when you choose that. And you can choose other LLMs as well, including Claude or OpenAI. I've already configured with Claude Opus 4.5 and GPT 5.2. I'll just start OpenClaw. This is the OpenClaw interface. CloudBot or OpenClaw, whatever you call it, needs an LLM to run. Once the LLM is connected, you can basically choose your own channel. For example, in this case, I've used WhatsApp, which is my channel to communicate through the ClawBot. It's a quick process where you need to just scan the QR code and then it gets you connected. Once that is done, so this one is the instances tab, so you don't need to worry about that much. And so you have got the active sessions here. Cron jobs are basically the jobs that you can trigger that runs automatically on a scheduled time. For example, you can ask ClawBot to provide you the best restaurants near your area at the specific point of time. All those things can be set up here. And the important part here is you need to configure skills for your ClawBot, which is ClawBot's ability to connect to various interfaces. For example, we have got Apple Notes, Apple Reminders, Gemini, GitHub, and so on. And you have got Google Go Places, all sort of things, and Nano Banana Pro, all those image generation models you can connect to. And you can also integrate it with Slack and Trello as well. That's pretty much it. Okay, so this is my AI agent that is connected through ClawBot. In here, you can just send messages just like you send a message to someone. I've asked ClawBot to generate an image for me. For example, this cute little poodle puppy, and it has used the OpenAI's image generation model
to give an image. I've set up a cron job to provide me the latest trends in AI for the last 24 hours. I've asked it to send it every day at a specific point of time, and it would just send the AI trends and news and also the links to it as well through my WhatsApp channel. And I can ask other things like recent issues that is reported by the SaaS founders in the last month. What it would do is it would search Reddit and get you the trends, and you have the links as well for Reddit, which you can look at. I've also integrated my Notion page through to Chatbot, where I have got a shopping list that is created, which is this one. I've got all the items listed that is in the to buy cart. If I ask Chatbot to retrieve the list of items that are in my to buy list, and it would just give me. And if I wanted to add an item, if I tell it, it would add an item to my database. I have set up some cron jobs to give me the restaurants in that area at a specific point of time. So it would just give me 3 recommendations of the latest restaurants in that area just before my lunchtime, so that I don't have to like open my phone and then search for the good restaurants around that area. So you can do n number of things with this. Okay, so how does other people use this in real life? So I'm going to show you 5 tweet-backed workflows. Here's a tweet from Dave, and he just posted that he has spent the past 24 hours setting up OpenClaw, and he is finding it very useful. The AI assistant lives on his Mac, and it connects to his iMessage web browser and phone calls. What he has done is he has automated a voice calling, which calls the restaurants using OpenAI real-time voice API. It actually sounds like a real person, and it hangs up on voicemails. It took a quite long time, but it's working well. And it had actually called 80 plus South Korean and 4 restaurants across 5 cities in the US, and asking about MSG. And he has also like set up monitors that scans tweets for Tesla relevant posts and track the Dallas Open tennis schedule and alerts him via text. And in addition to that, he has generated 100 plus detailed PDF guides, restaurants, activities, tennis courts, trading strategies, and even video games catalog. There are so many things he has done, and interesting part is that he has integrated with 11 Labs for music generation, and it has made his son a custom table tennis hip hop anthem on demand, which is very cool. Overall, he's finding it very useful, and he thinks the future is going to be wild. He also agrees that there are still major limitations and shortcomings of AI models, which I think it will get better over time, but it's actually a game changer, to be honest. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Here is another tweet by Alex. He has listed some of the productive use cases, for example, building and launching a full application without even asking for it, such as bot games. His AI agent also wrote a script for a video that has over 500,000 views on YouTube and has made him over $5,000 in ad revenue. And he has built a new functionality for his SaaS product and added over $10,000 of revenue based on user feedback. He had actually configured the AI agent's own phone number. I also did the same. I don't want to give my own number, because if I do, it can actually reply as me, which I don't want. So it's good to have its own number and also the email ID as well, so that he could call from the road and get advice on the apps that he's building. He also has configured to text him proactively when a competitor posts on YouTube video that performs better than their average. I also like to continuously analyze their own YouTube videos and writing new scripts based on structures, hooks that work. And also like he also configured it as an overnight quota, where multiple times a week Claude builds one app using Claude code that it thinks will improve their workflow based on their conversations. Interesting ideas here. And another workflow that I would like to show you guys is This is a tweet from Matthew. He has spent 2.4 billion tokens perfecting OpenClaw, and he has actually rediscovered the way he lives and work. He has listed some of the use cases that he uses daily, such as memory system, CRM, blah blah blah, and so on. And he has also posted a video here. There's another tweet. OpenClaw demos that real application require credentials. She has listed some of the examples, like have OpenClaw watch Zillow for price drops. I think it's basically used for house hunting and also to running a business, tracking competitor pricing page that changed automatically. This is insane. So you have to analyze your competitors, and then if you give those competitors list to Clawbot, it will just analyze the pricing and give you a report that you can ask it to put it in your Notion page or a Google page. It's pretty cool. And flipping the inventory, she has asked you to scan eBay or marketplaces for mispriced listings and also to flag resale margins. It's pretty cool, right? She has also asked to monitor sam.cow for new RFPS and your niche. What is sam.cow? It's actually an official US government system for contracting, entity information, federal hierarchy, federal assistance, and so on. And there's a post where their OpenClaw agent just closed her most successful autonomous trading day yet. I think it's risky as well. I wouldn't probably do that, but it's cool that it has got the skill to do it. There's another tweet by Vadim where their OpenClaw replaced $5,000 launched video agencies. Jarvis is opening tabs, clicking through timeframes, analyzing the designs and UIs, screenshotting each clip, logging and saving into his memory, and improving their motion design agent. It's happening in real time. It basically saves them thousands of dollars on launching videos. Doesn't have any coding experience, but they can still do these things. It's pretty cool. There is another tweet by Tech Monk AI. He found a game changer for anyone running OpenClaw on Discord. He says that if you have got the pain of your bot losing its vibe, specialized instructions, he is saying that he will OpenClaw the bot on Discord, basically. And if you just inject some prompts to it, and it can do things for you. It's pretty cool, yeah? Yeah, we have seen a lot of use cases, but it's very critical for you to follow some of the safety checks, because OpenClaw can read web pages and documents. Also, hidden instructions can manipulate what it does next. It's important to have these safety measures in check while you use OpenClaw. I will be sharing you 5 safety rules that you can implement it. Number 1 will be you can just start with read-only jobs. For example, to summarize, organize drafts before you let it send or delete or execute. Rule 2 is scope tokens. Like you are paranoid, OpenClaw often needs tokens for its Gmails, Slack, X, or Google Drive, so which are extremely sensitive and they may contain sensitive information. I would advise you to use minimal scopes. Also, just as mentioned before, like it's better you create a specific or a separate email account or phone number to OpenClaw, not to just give access to your own personal accounts. You need to install a very flow which you need. Don't just enable all the skills to it. Just integrate the items that you really need and remove the ones that you don't end up using it. You need to treat them like a browser extension. The 4th rule would be to separate agents by role. Don't mix up your work agents with your personal agents. Have a control how you can define roles. The next one is the most important one, I would say, which is having human in the loop, because the actions that Clawbot takes are irreversible and might have serious impacts. You need to be cautious. For example, when you deal with money or deleting files or like infrastructure changes or anything destructive, always have human in the loop. Now I'll give you a best starter setup that creators or operators can actually use. You don't need to be a techie to do this. It's just very straightforward and simple. If you're starting, don't try to build an empire of agents. You would basically just need 2 or 3. You can start with daily briefing and weekly audit. For example, summarizing messages, pulling priorities, draft first replies for your emails. And for weekly, you can ask it to review your content performance. If you're doing it on YouTube or LinkedIn or Instagram, you can ask it to analyze the patterns and review your tools and audit them and ask suggestions on how you can automate those. That's it. And here's my honest takeaway. OpenClaw is pretty cool AI, moving from generative AI to doing things and get things done for you. But you need to be very careful. If you treat it like a toy, it will leave you serious consequences. But if you treat it like a powerful operator, it can be so useful. If this helped, please subscribe and see you on the next one. Thanks.